This has 3 different kinds of cheese, but also some smoked sausage to go along. We are smoking up the goodness. Mac and cheese is one of Shan's favorite dishes, and if I don't get this right, y'all might not see me on the next video. But before we go any further, big news, folks. Yeah, y'all know it is coming. The book tour is up on us, it is. And the first stop is the Windy City in Chicago at the Yeti store. And from there, we're gonna go to Amish country. Kidron, Ohio, Lehman's hardware store. Biggest hardware store that I've ever seen in my life. There's more stops along the trail, and we're gonna have cookbooks at every one of these locations. So comment down there below and let us know where we're gonna see you at, because I'll try to remember your name and say, oh yeah, I know you. I've got both of the smoker and the grill fired up. We are finna double up on the mac and cheese. But the first ingredient that we're gonna start with is actually not cheese. It is what you call it, pork sausage. Find you any roll of breakfast sausage, and I like to use 1 pound roll. They're gonna get.
What kind do you have?
I have J.C. Potter, because Potter packs the flavor.
You like Potter's, I like Jimmy Dean.
Look right here, what's it say? No preservatives or MSG.
Yeah.
I really do be liking me some Potter's, but folks, I'm gonna meet you over at the fire. All we gotta do is get the casing off of it, season a little, and get it to smoking. Well, we have got the sausage on the grill, rolled it around there, put a little bit of our original seasoning on there. Let's get the lid latched down before the south wind takes it off. This is our roughneck smoker. If y'all are not familiar with them, you can find out more at Hasty Baker on our website, either one. Started out today with what? Some good Fogo hardwood lump charcoal. It is oak. I am going to add about 3 chunks of cherry wood to it. I'll either like cherry or apple to pair well with pork. We're probably going to try to keep a temperature about 275 to 280, because I just want to smoke this sausage, give it some really good flavor. It'll probably take it 35 to 40 minutes. We will roll it around a little to make sure that everybody is getting covered. Let's go ahead and give the folks in Wisconsin a heads up, because the cheese is fixing to come out. It is. But the biggest #1 tip I got to tell you about smoking cheese, and we do have a video already on it, but I'm gonna walk you through it again, is freeze your cheese about 20 minutes, 25 before you even start. So let me go get it out of the freezer. Like to forgot the combination, guess I did. The wind is supposed to blow here 45, 50 mile an hour today, so if you go to...
Let me unhook the audio.
And you want them to hear it?
Yeah, we're see if we got a guff.
Yeah. Well, as you begin to talk about it, usually it speeds up, but now it's slowed down a little. But you may hear it a little. That's why we really like them Rode mics. They do a great job. Remember, cheese in the freezer, about 25, 30 minutes. Now, the other tip I got for you is get you a good pan. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you can do it, get you a throwaway aluminum foil pan. But today I didn't get that, so I'm going to smoke Shan's pan up a little.
Thanks.
But if you do that, and it'll come off pretty easy, you can just clean it right there. But fill it full of ice cubes. You can see how many there is in there. Get you a wire rack that will lay on there sufficiently, and that one is just a fit. And then let's just go ahead and open some cheese. But remember I told you there was a secret ingredient that went with this, Shan, and I wasn't going to tell them what it was? Cream cheese.
Yes.
Yes. But folks, it's going to come off way before that other cheese does. I like to freeze this in about 45 minutes or an hour, because folks, it will try to melt on you in a hurry. So we opened that door there, you've seen there's like a handful of hardwood lump coals in there and 1 pretty good chunk of apple. Now, before we gonna shut that door, I went ahead and got me a few little more flakes of that cherry wood and put in there. It's all at the far end, far as you can go, hiding back over there, making some little heat, because I really like to run it like 95 to 125, but I will give you a tip. In July and August, this don't work real well unless you got one of them little old smoking tubes. Indirect heat, remember, all of this is down here, the heat, all of this is going down here in this corner. Just get it as far as you can over here, and the lid's still shut. We'll shut this vent down a little. We'll shut this one down just a tad, just so we get some airflow through there. But like I say, that cream cheese, don't run off in the house and think, well, I'm gonna smoke this 45 minutes. No, because in probably 8 to 10 minutes, maybe not quite that long. We just need some smoky flavor. Remember, it's soft. Smoke penetrates it easier than it does a hard block of cheese. On the cheddar and the mozzarella, we're going to try to go 45 minutes to an hour. But if you ever think that it's getting too hot, pull you some of that wood back out of it or bring it off a minute, let that fire slow down, because you don't want it to melt plumb away. It will, I promise you, if you ain't paying attention.
Your skirt's blowing up.
Yes, it is. And folks, that wind is creeping in some of these, making that fire run hotter than I want to run. So we're going to have to go ahead. That's what I like about these Legacies. They have this heat deflector shield that we can put over some of that. That'll help. I'll crank this fire down. But I want you to look in here how fast cream cheese begins to take shape. See, you can see it's already getting a little smoky color to it. Turn it this way. Try to get some of that wind off of it to where it ain't just cycling through there 150 miles an hour and running at a temperature of 7,000 degrees. You know, folks, when I'm having to cook out here and the wind blowing 40 miles an hour and it ain't rained in forever in this country, the drought's going on, you know where I'd love to be? Somewhere on a beach where there's some water and it's green. Yeah, you heard me right. But guess what? We are going to get that opportunity coming up this next year in January. We are hosting our own cowboy cruise, and you can come along and join up with us, because I got some dear friends coming with me. Great entertainers they are, Andy Nelson and Brian. But there's going to be excursions that we can go on. There's different packages that you can choose from. This is something that we can share with y'all to make it more special, to where y'all can get to know us and we can get to know you. A taste of Cowboy Cruise. It is going to be a great time, and I am going to get me tropical. Well, we've been on about 12 to 14 minutes we have, and I want you to look at this cream cheese. You can see it's beginning to really get really soft, and I don't want it to fall through that grate. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can't get this spatula under it. You're going to lose some of it, but not much. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, before you go any further, just take your finger, wipe that across there. Smoky cream cheese. See how the end of this cheese is beginning to melt on that side? So just, if you have to, take your spatula. Usually you can do it with your fingers. We ain't going to lose none of it. Turn him over, trade ends with him, because I want them to get some more smoke than what they've got. So we're just going to leave them going, let them go. We'll put this cream cheese in the ice box and let it chill till everybody else is ready. You seen we did have to add some more smoke to it once or twice, because you want to keep that smoke a-rolling, but also be sure that you flip that cheese back and forth, and you want it to really get that shine, that color to it, and you can smell that smoke. It is so good. But the thing you got to watch for too is don't let that cheese begin to melt and run down that rack. Temperature's running a little high, or you've been on there a little too long. So make sure you keep an eye on it. You don't want to lose none of it falling down through there, but if you do, I'll show you something it's good for. We have multiple cheese inspectors today. Cletus, since your company, he said, I don't know nothing about cheese. Duker, you've always been our cheese lover. Big, where is Sade? Mage, where you at, buddy? You're hard to get to. So when you get that cheese off, and folks, you can go ahead and assemble this product now, or if you want a much more robust, rich, smoky flavor, let that cheese cool at room temperature, and then to where it's not sweating anymore, put it in one of them sandwich bags and put it in the ice box, and you can let it set 24 hours, 48 hours, 3 days, whatever you need. But every time that it sets more, it is going to let that smoke incorporate deeper and deeper into that cheese. Now, the sausage itself, you've seen me pull it when I probed it with our little chef's temp there. It was at 163, 164, so it is ready to come off there. I like to go ahead and take the cheddar and the mozzarella, just cube it up, put it over in that stock pot over about medium heat. I'm gonna give you a little tip. You know, if you'll get you a good rubber spatula that you can use to mash that cheese as it's melting right there, it'll sort of help it. And then when it begins to get really smooth and try to melt there, then we're gonna just put the cream cheese in there with it. But you gotta stir. Stir it really well. Do not let it scorch, because cheese will scorch and then you have ruined the whole deal. We're going to add half and half to this to get the consistency and the smoothness that we want. And when it comes to that point, then we're going to crumble up this good smoky sausage and put it in there and stir it all together. Ooh, folks, this is going to be the best mac and cheese you ever eat in your life. That right there is heaven in a bowl. Now, you can use any kind of pasta you want to, but I'd be preferring that shells. Why? Because you can fill them shells up with more cheese. They got more cheesiness when you get them to your mouth. Remember, when you cook that pasta and you take it back out of there, rinse it really good and drain it before you put it back in that pot. Add you a half a stick of butter. Can I have a bite now, Shan?
Please do.
I've been wanting a bite of this ever since we started. But see how that cheese stick on there? Yes, sirree. That make you want to do like the what? The sometime cheesy smoked pasta shell dance. And then you run over there, get you another bite, run back, and then you cover it up like this because you don't want nobody getting no more of it. Woo. We thank you so much for tuning in. We do. And remember, everything we use today will be listed down there in the little link below, because you don't want to miss out on this recipe, folks. It is so good and so handy. But it is always with great pride and honor and privilege that I salute all our servicemen and women and all the veterans who have kept that old flag flying back there in camp. It is. But one other thing I need to ask you, folks. I need a special prayer request for a good friend of mine that lives in Branson. His name is Jim. So if you just lift him up in prayer, I'd really appreciate it. I would. Remember, that book tour is coming at you. It is live and in Technicolor. So keep an eye on that events page on the website, because we might be showing up in your town and you wouldn't want to miss that. So make sure you keep an eye on it. Check us out. We'd love to see you. The rest of you, come on in here really close and we'll give you a big hug. God bless you, each and every one, and I'll see you down the smoked macaroni, cheese, and sausage trail. You know, it is a great... I'm not going to do that.
Table. We need to fix that.
Oh, it's much better.
Oh.
I just did that so I could practice the combination. Now the icebox won't let me in no more. I feel like I'm being watched. Cletus. Cletus, would you not look at me that way? I mean, you could eat this in like 30 seconds and it'd all be gone. You don't even need no macaroni with yours, do you?